Your business isn't broken, your life is. And I apologize for coming off as too harsh or brash, but this is just God's honest truth. And most people just beat around the bush and not address the problems that they face in their own life, which reflect back in their business. And it's not your funnel, it doesn't have to do anything with the business tactics, but it's about your own personal life problem. Now most people treat their business like a separate entity. It's like legally it makes sense that your business, you form an LLC, so your business is a separate entity, but in real life it is not the case. See, you're the person who's driving your business. So this is you driving a car. And most people believe that you are really driving your business and you are inside of your business. So you're the one who's driving it. So it's all good and the business will flourish because you're driving it. But that is rarely the case. The truth is, you and your business, they're the same thing. And it is only that I want you to think about towing your business. It's like you're towing your business, and your business only propels forward once you propel forward. Once you clear all of the problems that you have in your life, only then the business starts moving. And the pace matters as well. The pace with which you're moving, if it's slow, then your business will move slow. If you're solving all the problems in your life fast with efficiency, your business is gonna move faster as well. You can easily scale your business this way. Now coming back to the topic, most people skim over it. Most people neglect them like they don't even exist, and they just creep up on your business and they become the number one bottleneck in your business. So why do people ignore all of this? It's because society has conditioned us to believe that all you have to do is just gain the knowledge, to read the books, to get the courses on all of these business strategies and tactics. And once you get all of these tactics, once you know and once you've mastered these tactics, you'll finally be able to scale your business. And the reason I'm so passionate about going against it, because it isn't the truth. Business tactics only equate to around 20% of your entirety of your business growth, and the rest of the 80%, it lies with all of these things that I teach in this channel. And one of it is to not neglect your own personal life problems, because they're gonna show up on your business anyways. The number one reason why your income is being held back, it's not because of the problems you have in your business. You see, if we peel back the layer, if we peel back and dive deeper into ourselves, we find that we're neglecting and overlooking a lot of issues that are becoming the root cause of the problems that we face in our businesses. Now, one of it is relationships. Many people just skim over their relationships. They don't listen to their partners. They don't handle the conflicts. And it shows in their business as well. Because if they aren't willing to communicate with their partner and not handle these so-called conflicts, they're gonna also neglect the communication with their team members, especially the hard conversations that are needed in order to communicate effectively with your team members. If you need to fire somebody and you're just avoiding this dreadful conversation to avoid the conflict, to avoid getting things in a mess, it is because you're also ignoring your relationship, and the situation that is happening in your relationship is usually the reflection of your business as well. Same goes with family. If you aren't talking to your mom, and it's been months, or you haven't called her, it's gonna show up, and it's gonna consume all this mental memory. And I had gone through a bit of this mental memory trap in my Man of Action video, where I explained briefly that your mind also has a mental memory. Your mind also has a memory of its own, and it's usually the storage or the memory, it gets full whenever any of these things remain unchecked. It shows up in your mental memory and it clogs up your brain. And it's called in psychology, it follows the cognitive load theory, where especially the extraneous load, where the unnecessary and distracting information causes this burden inside of your head, where you can't think about your problem straight, and you can't think about how you can solve the problems in your business, because all of these things are constantly clogging your memory. So if you haven't called your mother and it's been weeks, it's gonna show up in your business as well. You're gonna face this guilty feeling, and all of your entire nervous system reacts to these things if they remain unchecked. You see, you need your entire body and your nervous system to be in favor of you and never against you. See, people scroll through content. They scroll through TikTok, Instagram Reels, which get their brain against them. So their brain isn't even at their own side. So they're filling their brain with all this junk, and they consume mindless content, and they unintentionally consume things which allows your brain to be fried, and it's called brain rot. And they're doing this along with their business. Notice how much mental memory it consumes and clogs. Same thing is with their heart. They talk to so many girls. And their heart isn't even in check. So all of their feelings, they become attached too quickly, and any girl that goes, they just get a whiff of a girl, and they catch feelings. It's like you're gonna think about the girl for the rest of your week if you do that. That's why I abstain from girls entirely. I know that when I did that, when I hung out with a girl, I used to think about her for 3 days, and it even extended to a week. I know how powerful it is, and in order to achieve my goals in my business, I had to sacrifices, and I had to abstain from girls completely, to keep my heart within me, to keep it at my side, so I can utilize it and not get in this rush of feelings, and to stay logical for the most part, because I am a feelings person. I I drive from intuition more than my analytical side. So I need my logical side to be with me as well. And I can't afford to let my heart and my mind slide. Same thing is with the stomach. Multimillionaires and billionaires, they keep their physical health in check by keeping their stomach by their side as well. Whenever you ask them about what they consume, they are strict on their diet. And I found this through my research, where I researched all the elites in this world. I'm talking about the extremely wealthy individuals whose net worth exceed way above $200 million, and they don't state this publicly usually. So I had to go and dig within interview, within clips, and I had to repeatedly rewind them 5 seconds and 10 seconds, and then repeat the same process again to see if they just slipped or accidentally they spilled some of these golden nuggets, and they did. So I compiled all of them, and this channel is all about it. This channel is the compilation of what I found within the elites that they don't publicly state. They don't consume stuff that is going to cause inflammation, because guess what, they need to conquer the world with their business. And it also applies to you, even though you're not a billionaire yet, or you're not a multimillionaire yet. But in order for your business to grow, you need to keep your stomach in check. If you're eating inflammable stuff, what what will happen is that you're gonna end up with the stomach processing that food and digesting it for 3 hours. And what will happen is that your stomach won't be with your side anymore. And for 3 hours, it's being compensated. So for 3 hours, you don't have your stomach on your side. It's gonna cause this rumbling effect that you can't think straight, because it's causing all this fire in your belly in the wrong way. You should have the fire in your belly the right way, metaphorically. But with this, and you've noticed this when you eat like Chipotle with a lot of tons of sauces, and you know it's gonna upset your stomach, or you eat Taco Bell or anything that's gonna cause acidity and inflammation, you can feel that it's causing fatigue with your business decisions, and you don't make the moves clearly, and you're not in the state of relaxation. It's always a constant type of mental burden that you can't really identify or put your finger on what it really is. But this is what's causing the issues. So you need to have a clean diet. And I'll make a separate video on it, so I'm not really diving into the specifics, but have a clean diet that's gonna help you to eliminate all sorts of inflammation. Same thing is with your liver. People corrupt their liver by drinking excessively, and then the liver is compensated. Then they don't even have their liver by their side, and the drinking is just a bad thing. You just have to give it up if you want to be a multimillionaire. I'm telling you, need to quit drinking immediately. It doesn't have any effects, and if it unlocks a side of you that you want to unlock, you can do it. You just have to have your mind with you, and it'll happen. But most people avoid the easy stuff. They drink, and it's just a total mess. It is a disaster. It corrupts their liver, then they're hungover, then they can't think for 3 days straight, then their business is gonna suffer for those 3 days. And you do it for long enough, these 3 days multiply each week, and then you multiply it with the months, and you get all of this time that you're wasting. And if your competitor isn't the one who's drinking, he's gonna have an edge over you. Think about it. 3 days times 4, that's 12 days per month. 12 times 12, that's over 150 days. And I'm not sure I'm doing the right math. It's over 150 days a year that you're wasting, that your competitor is not. So pay attention to it and stop drinking. The other thing is with the entire immune system. See, and this ties to mental health as well, where people do such activities that instill fear and guilt inside of them. And guilt and this guilty feeling is the number one reason why you go in this state of fight or flight, even when you're sitting on a chair in your good apartment, in the comfort of your home, making money, but you have this guilty feeling because you're doing something wrong. Either you're giving into lust, either it is that you're spending on things you should not do. I'm not talking about having calculated risk that you should take, and that type of fear is needed, but I'm talking about the guilty feeling. This is the feeling when you avoid, when you don't talk to your family, when you don't call your mother, and it's been a long time. It affects your immune system. It puts you in this guilty feeling that you constantly get. And that is what ties back to this mental storage. Part of it is because the because of the guilty feeling, that becomes a burden inside of your own head. Think about it. You remember the time when you did something and knew it was wrong. You had this guilty feeling where you can't even breathe properly, and you're holding back the breath, and your entire body is constricted. When you speak, you have to clear clear your throat, and your body gets warmer, and your heart is thumping like crazy. All of it is the is the guilty feeling adapting and changing itself because of the fight or flight mode it has been put into. So if you're in these bad habits, if you're in the feelings and activities that initiate the guilty feelings, whatever it is, avoid it at all cost. Avoid them at all cost. I've identified that lust is usually what brings a lot of guilty feelings, and inherently doing anything wrong, whether it's deceiving others, whether it's taking other people's money or scamming others, anything that is inherently wrong, need to give it up quickly if you want your entire immune system to be at your own side. Because once you have all of your organs, all of your entirety of your immune system with you, only then you can fully scale your business, because your body, your nervous system, and all of your body parts are gonna be aligned with you and your goals. And it's like everything is optimized around business, your entirety of yourself. The same thing is with mental health. People ignore their mental health entirely. And what it ends up happening is that they have all of these personal issues they need to address, but they're not doing it. You know, they have things on their mind. They have ideas on their mind that are continuing to clog their memory, but they aren't putting them on paper, or they aren't noting it down on their computer. I can guarantee you, if you're getting these ideas constantly in your head and you can't seem to get them out of your head, and they are good ideas, just write them down. It is your brain trying to give this revelation to write these ideas down. And once you do, your brain just frees up tons and tons of storage. And it's just like a huge burden has lifted off your shoulders. The same thing with another point that joins the mental health is to reflect and review your entire week. See, the highly successful people, what they do is, after the week ends, and it is typically on the weekends, they sit down and they reflect back on the week, and they think about what they needed to do, and if they did everything they needed to do, and what needs correction. So they reflect back at everything, even in their personal life. If they haven't spent time with their kids, they write it down. So whatever it is, they write these things down. And then what they do is they plan for the week ahead. And what it does is it primes the mind in a way that it is ready for action. Whenever Monday hits, they're ready to take action. So they plan the entirety of the week. They know what goals they need to conquer this week, and these are usually the short-term goals. And they know what they need to tell their team prior to the week being started, and they know they're filled, and they're pumped, and they know they have the agenda. They can just go and conquer the entire week and then repeat the process once the next weekend comes and the cycle repeats. Do you see, all this keeps mental health in check. You're writing the ideas down, whatever your problem you're facing, you're writing them down. Then you're coming up with a solution, and it's abstract. So you make a brainstorm, and so you make a mind map, and you brainstorm more ideas. You write them on paper, or you write them on your computer, And what it does is it frees up your entirety of your mental memory. It frees all of it up, and you can finally focus on the business. And then all the problems in your business become a breeze. There are tons and tons of bottlenecks and leaks that are present in your business, much like this one. You see how life problems equate to business problems. You see how impactful this is, right? There are so many more things that go into your business that you can't even see. And I can help you fix this because I offer all of these things in my mentorship program, where I not only offer accountability but also help you identify all of these leaks and bottlenecks that are holding your income back, and so that you can finally scale your business effortlessly. Click the link in the description below to book a call with me so we can get started right now, or we can get your business up to speed right now without going into the tactics. Now back to the video. The same thing is with spirituality. Most people just ignore spirituality. Now, if you don't believe in any of this stuff, it's not even your fault, because religion has become this sort of a joke. And I'm a Muslim, and I really apologize on behalf of all of the Muslims, because of what Islam has become. And if you think anything bad about Muslims, I don't even blame you, because that is not what we're taught to do. And nowadays, the current state of Muslims have become this sort of evil spirits, and which is totally against the teachings of Islam. You see Muslims drinking, they're doing drugs, they're sleeping around, and they're deceiving others. They're scamming their own brothers, and everything they do, they scam with the name of their religion, and it's just a total mess. If you know any of the Muslims, and you don't feel this connection with them, and you don't feel this good spirit from them, then they're not following the religion completely. They're just called Muslims because that's what it says in their passports. But realistically, what we're taught is to serve others and prioritize others over our own selves. So even if when we're in need, we're supposed to to feed and to serve our brothers first. And our brothers means all of the humanity. Doesn't even just include the Muslims. And and I can tell you about this example. If there's an elevator which has only a space for a single person, and there's a long line that you need to cross in order to get to that elevator, and you need to go there, and you need to go there fast because you have the most life-changing opportunity in form of a meeting, and you need to get there. But we're taught to put others first, even though you're in a line first and you know that, but it's still, you give your space up for another person. This is what Islam is. And if you haven't considered spirituality, I can assure you that if you do one thing, I can guarantee you it's going to change your life. Most people don't even read the book of God. Quran is a book of God, and I want you to, I insist you to just take a simple action which is going to change your life. I insist you that you clean yourself up by taking a shower and sit with the pure clean intention and ask God that I am here to seek help from you, and if there is any God, I am there sitting seeking help with the purest of intention, and I put my trust in you. And then open the Quran from anywhere randomly, and wherever you whichever page and whichever line your finger lands on, I can guarantee you that that line is gonna fit your entire situation. That line is gonna suit where you are currently and which situation you're in. Whatever circumstance you're in, it's gonna cater to that. I can assure you it has happened to so many people, so many non-Muslims, and so many people who are away from spirituality. They've done it. They've cleaned themselves up. They said with purest intentions. They asked God for help. They opened the book randomly and out of nowhere. They put their fingers on a line, and that line was serving them. That line was the indication that they needed from God. And you can do this, or at least consider doing this if you're away from spirituality. Now, this channel isn't about spirituality, but I needed to put it in because most people neglect spirituality along with all of these things. And it is once that you realize that your business problems only stem from your life problems, and then you go and fix all these problems, and you not overlook or neglect them, it is only then your business starts to flourish. No matter what type of business you have, no matter what type of problem you're facing in your business, once you identify and fix all of your life problems, then you start to become really successful. Now, if you really want to level up your business, you need to be innovating your business, because without innovating, you're practically failing the business, because any of your competitor who is innovating is going to outcompete you, and actually they can wipe the existence of your business in a blink of an eye. That's how powerful innovation is. And you can learn this. I've taught all about it in one of my videos, which I'll link it down below.